Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying the weekend out there. I wanted to put out a quick video today and talk about what we witnessed last night from Dallas. The Stars are moving on to the Western Conference Final after winning Game 6 in overtime versus the Winnipeg Jets 2-1. Thomas Harley ends it at the 133 mark in overtime. He was also involved in the Stars' only other goal of the game back in the second period, an assist on Sam Steele's goal. Both goaltenders played well, only 43 shots on goal combined in the matchup, as the game was played in a tight defensive fashion. While Winnipeg loses another road game, it was not due to their all world goaltender, Connor Hellebuck. It was good to see him have a solid road effort despite the loss. There are moments in North American sports history that are remembered for far more than the actual game taking place in the arena. I remember Brett Favre's performance versus the Oakland Raiders a day after his dad passed away. I remember Dale Earnhardt Jr. running towards his dad and the crash site where his dad lost his life. And of course, I remember Martin St. Louis playing a playoff game for the New York Rangers a day after losing his mother. And while last night's matchup was a great game with tons riding on it, and while we could all break down all the ins and outs of what we saw on the ice, last night's matchup transcends to something far beyond sport, far beyond watching world class athletes compete for the best trophy in all of sports. It's nights like last night that allow us to feel connected to someone like Mark Scheifele. These moments where sports and life collide. NFL, NHL players are the 1% of the 1%, right? World class athletes that the rest of us 99% will never be able to relate to. But it's events like what we saw last night that allow us a level of relatability and make us remember that hockey, or any other sport for that matter, is quite silly compared to family. I cannot say I was surprised Shefley decided to play. Honestly, there was not a wrong decision for him to make, and no one would have blamed him at all for skipping out. But as I thought about it, Game 6 may have represented one of the last chances for life to feel normal again before having to face all the realities of life without his father. I remember going through my first divorce. I did not cope well at all and struggled to heal and move on from it. Oddly enough, the only place I felt safe and felt normal was at work. At the time, I was a sales rep for a large paint company selling to a big box store. And when I was there, I could simply pretend I was just at work, that my wife was at home with the kids, waiting for me to arrive. My lie made me feel okay for a few fleeting hours. So I worked and I worked and I worked. I rarely took days off, even working on Sundays. I won a bunch of sales awards that year. And after a particular sales award ceremony out in Phoenix, a number of people approached me and asked the question, how'd you do it? What was your secret? Like, what am I going to say? I was completely depressed, drowning emotionally, and only felt safe and secure and normal while at work. So when I say I wasn't surprised that Shefley decided to play last night, I get it. That one last game to feel normal. And I'm glad he played. Moving forward, he's going to have to be the strong one for his family. He's going to have a lot on his plate and is going to have to face the emotional reality of life without his father. He's going to have to grieve while staying strong for others. Last night, surrounded by his teammates and the organization, surrounded by the Dallas Stars players, he was able to be in the care of others, allowed some needed moments of vulnerability. And I'm sure he needed that far more than the Jets needed him on the ice. Psalm 34:18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. That verse has served as one of comfort and strength for me during tough times. Certainly, my prayers are with Mark and his family as they go through their process of grieving and saying goodbye. And anyone listening to this, if you're struggling with something, if you're going through a hard season of life, if the pain just feels unescapable, please know that you are not alone and you don't have to carry your burdens alone. Jesus absolutely loves you and is near you. I don't have all the answers to life. I barely have the answers to hockey and all the mysteries and burdens that we face here in this life. But if you need someone to talk to and you have no one else to turn to, don't hesitate to reach out on here. If you need prayer, I'll happily pray for you, pray with you. If connecting with a pastor is something you need, I know a few great ones. You don't have to go through pain alone. So that's all I wanted to share today. I just felt compelled to share after what we saw last night. Apologies for the more emotional nature of this one. Death is obviously not a fun topic. Of course, we do have a game seven tonight from Toronto. The Panthers and Maple Leafs dropping the puck at 7:30. I've been very critical of the Leafs, not just this year, but in years past. But full marks to them for winning that game six. What a gutsy effort. Showed me a side of them I hadn't seen in quite some time. So that was just awesome to see. Awesome game there back in game six. I think tonight has a chance to be absolutely epic. So enjoy the action tonight. Thank you all so much for watching and listening here. If you do like what you are hearing and listening to here, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below. And until next time, everybody, be kind, show love, and God bless.